Hi again, welcome back. Well, I wanted to go over some more information that I have acquired, and I started looking for the original day, month for that we were given in our Bibles. And if you haven't actually read the Old Testament, you might want to check it out because January is not the first month of the year. It is actually in spring, and that's what I found. But you might want to look it up. It has to do with the Passover. And you're probably thinking, what, Passover? Well, yes, Passover is what I said. Because, you know, we had some commandments back, and they, I hear about the Ten Commandments a lot. So, yes, I thought maybe I should study up because there's a lot more than just 10 commandments. It's just 10 that are talked about. And some say, well, you may have gotten saved, and because of our Messiah, you don't have to worry about the law. Well, actually, yeah, because of our Messiah, you should be concerned that you don't fall under the law, you know, because he gave his life for us, and his giving his life was not in vain. He gave his life for us, and not killing is in the Old Testament. It's part of the law. It's something that you just shouldn't do. So are the others. The commands are there for a reason. Instruction is there for a reason. Just like when you go in your mom's house or your dad's house, or both of them are still together, you go to their home and they have rules. Look, you can do this, this, and this, but this you cannot do in my house. Just like when you were growing up, or if you're a parent, you have rules in your house that you don't want the children to do, that you gave instruction for a reason. And our Messiah came not to take away the law, but to fulfill it. Yes, so he's actually filling it. And it's not over yet because the word doesn't go away until all is fulfilled. And that's another reading in your Bible. In the Bible, I'm hoping that it's in yours because not all of them are the same. So again, we're back to studying to show ourselves approved and getting back to the point. Passover. So that came up, and I just, instead of looking for the day, I did my search. I did. And it was extensive, and it seems that different people have different calendars, but the main thing is that the first day of spring and time. Our Father created time in the beginning, right? He created time before he created us. He created time. When he put the sun up and the moon up and the stars in the sky, well, I started looking for the original day, the month, because I wanted to know when it was. And I ran over on this Passover that said, hey, this is something you're supposed to keep through all your generations. What? Through all your generations. Okay. And then some people might say, well, hey, you might think that you're not part of this because that didn't, yeah, it included you. Adam and Eve were the first two people, right? The two that our Father made was Adam and Eve. So let's go back to this. Then after that, everyone was wiped out except everyone who was on Noah's Ark. We had to come from somewhere. We are descendants and we are all family. Whether you actually realize it or accept it, every one of us, you're all family. And just different tribes of family. That's it. Just this part of this lineage, part of that lineage, but we all came from there. Our, and then we have an original source, which is our Father, who actually formed each and every one of us in our mother's womb. How about that? Okay, so let's get back on the topic. The feast day of unleavened bread. And all praise to the Most High, for He is and He shall be. All praise. So we keep the feast day. So, and if you interested in this, I believe I have a Exodus 12, chapter 12, 1 through 21, and you might want to read on that. And it's about the Passover when the people were in Egypt, of course. They were being, they were slaves. They were being mistreated and going through a lot from what I was reading. And our Father heard their prayers and they were delivered. So you might want to read on that to know more about it if you haven't read it already. Now you probably heard about Moses, delivering, going there to get the people, which his actual real name is Moshe. So keep the feast of unleavened bread. Celebrate it as a feast unto the Most High. For 7 days eat unleavened bread. Unleavened bread. Day 1. Just giving some things about what I found. So I'm going to read what I have here. Remove all leavened bread from your home. Sometimes it helps to hear it. Especially when you're driving, it's easier to hear it. And then when you can go back over it, you can say, oh, okay, well, that's what she was saying. Yes. However, I do recommend that you not only just look at what I I've sent you the direction for, like Exodus 12, but you not only go there and glance, but you actually study what I'm saying because it is important to do the will of our Father. And a lot of people want to know, well, what is the will? Well, first of all, He wants us to be obedient, and it's just one of the things. So if you're hearing this, then you must be searching for something. So celebrate. Day 1. Remove all leavened bread from home. And you want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And if I did, please put it in the comments because I need to know too. Do not eat any leavened bread, or you will be cut off from Israel. You know what that means, right? We're all part of Israel. Yeah? But if you eat unleavened bread, you will be cut off. Uh, Correction, if you eat leavened bread, then that's a problem. You will be cut off. Also, hold a sacred assembly. So you need to have a gathering. I know in this times like these and days like now, with the sickness, you might want to gather with just whoever you have in the home, or if you have no one, then remember that you do have someone. There might not be in a body, but our Father is always with us, and your sacred assembly can be your set aside time with Him. But it's not a gathering. However, you do what you could, right? To keep it holy and to keep it right. He says, do not do any work except for preparing meal only. In the first month, you are to eat unleavened bread. Did I say in the first month? Yeah. So the first month is not January. He's not talking about January. He's talking about the first day of spring. In the first month, not the first day, but the spring month. And you have to do some research on that to see where that is. It's usually around March or April, somewhere like that, from what I was reading. So now you want to find out which is which. So I gave you a little something to roll with. You might want to look it up and see what you can find. And again, find something, let me know. In the first month, you are to eat unleavened bread. From the evening of the 14th day to the evening of the 21st day. So that's number of days there. 7 days to be exact. So, but notice I said from the evening of the 14th day to the evening of the next day because a lot of times people consider the day hasn't started until they wake up the next morning. That's not so. The day started that evening before you went to bed. If you went before, it still started. It started at dark. And you might want to look that up too. So if I'm hitting on a whole bunch of things that you're like, wait a minute, what? Then that tells me that, or it should tell you something that you might need to pick up a little some information and do some research because the truth is the truth and our Father gave it to us. Basic instruction. However, some things I am still searching out. Yes. So for 7 days, there must be no leaven found in your houses. Remember the first day, go back, take it all out, make sure there's nothing there. So, what I started to think about was how do I do this so I don't miss anything? Because I don't want anything found in my house. So, I started to think, okay, what will run out quickly that I have that is actually leaven? And then now, I like how I cook. However, bread has not been one thing that I have been doing a lot of. So I'm not saying that, it's not. I like bread, but I need to work on the unleavened part there. And which is, I believe is not going to be difficult because if you like hot water cornbread, that's one thing that I believe it's not leavened. And thank our Father for teaching our mothers that so that we can be taught how to fix hot water cornbread. For 7 days there must be no leaven found in your houses. You are not to eat anything leavened. Not leavening in your soup, not leavening in your salad dressing, not leavening in anything. And I have a question. Why would leavening be in your salad dressing anyway? Don't think that's a strange question because I looked at something the other day and my thought was, why is leavening in this? I don't need it to rise. Questions. So, yes, be very particular and careful about what you're getting. And if you want to keep this Passover and make it a special thing between your group of family and yourself. I I'm doing it. I'm for me. I'm doing this for me. So sometimes when you're searching things out, you just need to know the truth. And then when you get the truth, you need to obey the truth because that is something that you now know. To not do what you know is right to do is something that what we call sin. So be careful. Be careful. Now, I could be knocking on that. And if so, if that's something that I need to be told about, or if there's something, information that you need to give me regarding that, please do. Again, that's what the comments are for. You're not to eat anything leavened for the 7 days. Day 7, made it to day 7, which was supposed to be the 21st day. Now, don't stop on day 7. Day 7 is still part of the time. And remember, it doesn't end until that evening. And that evening is usually after the first three stars are out. It needs to be dark enough. Hold another sacred assembly on the day 7. So you have another gathering. Do not do any work except to prepare meals. That is all you do on that day. So day 7, you don't do any work. Day 1, you don't do any work except for to prepare meals on both of those days. So our appointed first month, yeah, that our Almighty changed. He made it our first month way back in Exodus, something that we should remember. And it's not January, of course, but spring. Some call it the month of Nisan, and you probably can Google some information. I Googled some information. I'm still doing some searching on that, but I did want to share that with you. Remember that's on the 14th day at Eve, and you might can find that one in Exodus 12:18. If not, it's around there. But I also found Hebrew months online and something about the lunar cycle, but more than likely, Nisan, the month of Nisan, is the actual month, which is supposed to be the first year. And I hope that helps out someone with the Passover and your Passover study. And if you find more information, please let me know. I just wanted to touch on that so we can all be on the same page. Have a great day.